Hello everyone, you're watching Working to Relax. My name's Kevin. I'm doing some stuff here on my trailer, my jayflight, and I thought that maybe I would give you just a quick little tip about, excuse me, as you can tell we're kind of laying in the grass, how to adjust electric trailer brakes. These are, I want to say they're 10 by 2 brake drums, and that would be 10 inches across the diameter and 2 inches across widthwise. And that's usually the brake pads or the drums that you measure. So they might come up like 10 1/4, 10 2, something like that. So we're going to see if we can get a halfway decent spot for you guys to sit and watch where the phone don't tip over. But that should not freewheel that much if they're adjusted properly. So you're supposed to use a brake spoon, which I have, but it's at work in my toolbox at work. So take a flat blade screwdriver. You're going to pop this cap off. That's usually right here. And in there you have to kind of feel for it. You can actually get under there and see with a flashlight a little gears kind of looking out at you. And you just got to get this in there. Now, the catch is, and sometimes this gets a little frustrating, but you're going to get it in there where it bites and you want to pull down with the handle. And what that's doing is tightening up the brakes. You'll hear a click, another click. Sometimes you got to get that last click to go just a little bit farther to get the next click to go like you want it to. Alright, and what it is, it's the gears rubbing on the spring and it's not hurting anything. So when you get to a point that you can't turn the drum anymore by hand, which obviously we still can here. Come on. And when I say by hand, I do mean two hands. Okay, drum doesn't turn anymore. So now what you do is you start with your screwdriver in the up position like this, and you're going to find them teeth again. And again, it's not exactly the greatest. If you have a brake spoon, it's a lot easier. And you're going to count the clicks. So every time you have to move the screwdriver or your brake spoon to a different tooth, that's a click. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It doesn't look that impressive, does it? So 10 is the general number that you go by. There's actually a set amount of clicks for different size drums, and I know that 99.9% of everything new today are self-adjusting, so there is no need to do this. You can't even do this. So I found my sweet spot where the tire. The drum only turns a certain amount of times. So now I'm just going to scratch the side of the drum. And I'm going to say that that is about 1 revolution. Yep, 1 revolution. And that's actually kind of the same thing you look for in a car with drum brakes, is you want to have your drum brakes adjusted that when you spin it by hand, it makes 1 revolution and stops turning. So what we did here is we went 10, and these brakes have not been adjusted for, I think I did them back in 17. And I packed the bearings, adjusted the brakes, put new shackles, equalizers, bolts and all that on here back in 17. Just being ahead of the game. And so that was the last thing they're adjusted. So you figure 17, 18, 19, we're about, maybe a year and a half, 2 years. It was about May when I did them in 17. So it's been a while. But I haven't used the camper, but I've moved it a lot. And this spring I realized I had to turn up my brake controller on the truck because the camper wasn't doing as much work stopping as it used to. So what I determined was it was probably time to adjust the brakes. Well, I have new tires and rims for this that I'm putting on, and I thought, well, now would be a good time. Since the tire is off. You can't really do this with the tire on. The weight of the tire is like torque. When you spin it, it'll spin 2 revolutions or more, and it throws you off on your counts when you're trying to get the right amount of tension on the spring. So the rear axle I've already done. I tightened it up, backed it off 10 clicks, 1 revolution, it stops. This front axle here, now we tightened it up all the way, backed it off 10, and it was like I didn't do anything to it. So I think I put about 5 back on it, and that's getting me right back into that spot where the back, so it's about the same as the back axle now on this side. Now I've got 3 more to do, or 2 more to do. I only have, that makes sense, right? If I did that wheel, why would I do this wheel and have 3 more to do? I have 2 more to do on the other side. I'm going to repeat the same process. So hopefully somebody finds this video useful. Bearings and brakes is 12 months, 12,000 miles. Yes, I just told you I packed my bearings and adjusted my brakes in 17. Again, mileage and usage, I just haven't used the camper, and I also haven't had time. I did just pull apart that back bearing and check it, and the grease getting a little bit dirty, but nothing to be shaking a stick at right now. So I'll probably do is later on this year or maybe next spring, I'll have to try to find some time, get new seals for it and pack my bearings. And what I did for my seals is I contacted the purchasing dealer where I bought my trailer, and they had my VIN number on file, and I told them I needed bearing seals, and they were able to pull up the build sheet on the trailer because I bought my Jayco from a Jayco dealer. So they pulled up the build sheet and knew that it had Dexter axles, and I think there's a 35 or 4,000 pound axle, something like that. I don't remember. I'd have to look again. The tag is over there still. Smaller than most of the axles you folks have, that's for sure. They were able to look it up, know what kind of axles I had, knew what size axles I had, knew what size drums I had, and then therefore they knew exactly what bearing seal I needed. So that's kind of where we're at. So again, I hope somebody found this useful. Just a little light maintenance, if you're a full-timer and you use your camper a lot and you don't do the 12 months, 12,000 miles in your bearings, but you want to have your brakes checked if you do a lot of mountain driving and hill driving. This is a simple thing to do if you have a little older trailer. This is a 2008. Self-adjusters got pretty hot, probably around 12 or 13 maybe. So check with your unit and find out. Usually self-adjusting brakes, this little, I wish it would focus, there we go a little bit. That little cap that we took off here, if you have self-adjusting brakes, it has 2 of these, one next to the other. Those are usually self-adjusters. If you don't have self-adjusting brakes, usually it's just the one, unless somebody's made something different, like LCI I think has 2, whether they're self-adjusters or not, I don't remember. But so yeah, and now is also a good time to check your suspension, which I've also already done, for any sloppiness or broken parts or anything like that. Tight bolts and all that junk for your U-bolts. U-bolts hold your axle to the leaf. the shackles or the bolts that hold the leaf to the equalizer. Equalizer is actually between the two wheels. And then you have another shackle bolt over here, or not shackle bolt. That's a hanger and a bolt. And we need to get some paint under here. It's been a little while since I painted this. Usually I crawl in here and I spray paint this thing a little more religiously, but really the only thing I don't think I've done is the inside under the frame. Everything outside has been done. So anyways, hope it's just for somebody. Have a nice day. Oop, big fat thumb in the way. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. I hope to see from you soon.